Oh, brilliant. Okay. Hello, everyone. We have Chelsea Jarvie here. Chelsea is one of those people very inspiring in the cybersecurity industry.
Oh.
I always looked up to Chelsea. She had a brilliant
Aw.
experience in the past as well. You worked for Scottish government and you worked for Prudential. Some great experience, and now you're on your own, right?
Yes, I'm on my
So
own.
that's the first question. Tell me why. What's the motivation leaving a secure job behind and going on your own?
I know. It seems kind of crazy now, but I just fancied it. I just fancied a change, and I saw loads of people working for themselves, and I thought, I love the idea of that. And another thing is, I absolutely love holidays. And every time I took a new job and I got the contract through and it says, oh, you've got 25 days holiday, I thought, oh my God, how am I going to go? So yeah, no, I'm loving it. And I can just take on new challenges, new projects, just anything that comes along, I can just go for it. So yeah, loving it.
So what did you have to adopt from going from a full-time employee into a business owner? What did you have to change? What did you learn?
Well, you learn so much because, like Saturdays and Sundays were me finding out all about tax and corporation tax and what it all means. And I've learned so much out with security. It's been incredible. It's been quite scary. And I'm still really nervous I'm doing things wrong, but I'm kind of just learning as I go along and flying by the seat of my pants a wee bit. But yeah, I think I've learned more about how I like to work and working on different projects. It's just really keeping me really excited, and every day I get up and it's a different project or I'm working for a different client, which is great. But yeah, I think you have to be more regimented with your time. I've probably not been that great at it in the past, but yeah, you have to be, quite, what's the word? Like keep
Get
your
get
schedule tight and not
get shit
take
done.
on. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. As I can see, yeah, there's just so much to do because you've got to do your branding and your marketing and your accounts, and yeah, so yeah, it's challenging, but love it.
Right. We'll move on from this topic, but last question on this. I get tons of people asking me, how did you start? What did you do? What would your advice be for security professionals looking to go out on their own?
Yeah, it's daunting, but I think you have to use your network. So I sort of took the jump not having anything to go into because I had a 3 month notice period, and it's really hard to get a contract opportunity if you've got a 3 month notice period. So you kind of just have to take the leap and use your network and your the support around you to get something just in the bag to get you going, and then you get into the flow when things come up and opportunities come along, but just
Yeah.
go for it.
Plan. Otherwise, you will end up like me. I was delivering Domino's pizza for 3 months.
Oh, no.
Right. So, how did you actually get into security in the first place?
Yeah, so I studied ethical hacking at Abertay University. So I've went through that whole process, studying for 4 years and doing internships and grad programs and stuff. But before that, I've spoken about it before. I really didn't like computing and didn't ever see myself working in computing at all. But just as a kid trying to work out what you want to do, it's difficult. And I just had different knockbacks that sort of knocked me into security, I guess. So I did take the leap at that point as well, and go on the ethical hacking course. I didn't know if I was going to like it or if I was going to be any good at it, but it's all sort of worked out so far. But now I love the field, and I'm so glad that I've ended up in cybersecurity. And I think it's where I was always meant to be, but I just didn't know that at the time.
Why? Why do you love the field?
I think it's just, I think although you're working in the background and some of the things that you do or you recommend is maybe not customer facing, you know that what you do every day is having an impact on people's lives. So you know that if you've recommended some sort of solution or process, that it's going to keep their information safe or keep that company safe. So I like that. I think it feels like you're doing good.
Yeah, having direct impact on people's lives, livelihoods,
Yeah.
and even sometimes you're saving lives as well. If you look at OT security,
Yeah,
it
definitely.
just ICS security, in other words,
Yeah.
it's crazy. But what would your advice be if somebody is looking to get into cybersecurity from no experience in security field before?
Yeah. So, yeah, lots of people have asked me this. I think now there are so many different avenues for you to convert into cybersecurity. So, there's loads of resources online. There's all the meetups. So, I think if people were really interested in getting into the field, I'd recommend going to one of the free meetups. There's a lot happening in Edinburgh, but I'm sure there'll be other things in sort of Glasgow and Aberdeen, maybe one of your events. And try and speak to people there and build up that security network. And then also go on and do some of those online courses. There's loads of free online courses just as a starter to get into cybersecurity. I think if you do those things, you can start hearing about opportunities. So there might be opportunities in your work. I know some employers are doing are allowing people to convert from maybe a sort of different IT background into cybersecurity. Or there's things like the graduate level apprenticeships, which they've not got an age limit. So you could, if you've got an employer that supports you, you could do something like that. Yeah, there's loads of opportunities. I don't think you need to go through that traditional school and uni and work now, which is great because it doesn't suit everyone.
Yeah, you just have to be curious and passionate, and you will find things,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Absolutely, and
definitely.
reach out to people, follow people in the industry. We
Agreed.
we got tons of requests, as you get asked all the time, and we launched a sponsorship encouraging 5 people to get into security every year as well.
Yeah. Oh, you
Uh,
do that every year?
yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, no, I did. I shared that. I thought for companies to do that and help people get a qualification, I think as well that gets you through the door, in
Yeah.
front of somebody if you've got something on your CV to say, I've went out and done this qualification or learned about this topic. It makes you stand out.
Absolutely. Well, there's no point moaning all the time about shortage of skills, shortage of professionals. We wanted to do our bit. We can't change the entire industry, but at
Yeah.
least we can contribute, right?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, we'll be doing that every year. Yeah.
Good. Oh, that's great.
But tell me about Scotland, Scotland and cybersecurity. Why do you think people should come to Scotland? Businesses should come to Scotland and spread their or start a cybersecurity business in here.
Yeah. That's interesting. I think,
What's the opportunity?
yeah, well, I think Scotland has it's such a small community, but it is quite diverse. You meet new people in security all the time from different backgrounds and different routes into cyber, different interests. And I think the community is so supportive as well that if you're a business starting in Scotland, I think there'll be opportunities for you to go and speak at events or, network with that great community that we've got and get those good skills into your business. So I think yeah, I think it's an amazing place to be in cybersecurity from that support perspective. But there's also all the initiatives that are going on. So we've got Cyber Scotland Week coming up soon. We've got, if you look in Edinburgh, if you go to Edinburgh Park, we've got lots of fintech. It's just really exciting. But I feel it's not got that London vibe of being like really corporate and it's just I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but I just feel it's really friendly and inclusive in Scotland.
If you look at London, you can describe it as a large corporate company, whereas Scotland is a small business, maybe. Where
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we're an SME.
yeah, everybody knows everybody, and
Yeah,
all the
definitely.
departments how they work, and
Yeah, and it's cheaper as well in Scotland.
yeah. You walk down the street and you probably recognize, few people along the street.
Yeah,
In London, probably,
absolutely.
probably nobody recognizes you. um, but what I was going to ask, what kind of innovation are we seeing, are we noticing in Scotland and the industry in
Yeah.
general?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I was thinking about this, and I think from being a judge at the Cyber Awards, I've been in a really privileged position to see a lot of the companies and people doing amazing things in Scotland. So we've got the sort of spin-outs from Napier, we've got SMEs like yourself and Dido, and all these people are doing amazing things around sort of cyber resilience, security awareness, forensics, SOC and SIEM, and I just think there's loads going on across all the different cybersecurity niches in Scotland, and it's kind of there's big companies and small companies. It's a real mixed bag, and I think being a judge, I got to see so many entries that were just incredible and really inspiring. And it's a shame not all those people got shortlisted, and I hope that they apply the next year, because it's just every year you look at these applications that come in, and they're getting better and better, and there's more and more happening in Scotland, which is really exciting.
All right, so you're a judge at the Scottish Cyber Awards, right?
Yes, yeah.
I need to take you out for dinner sometime.
Yeah, no bribes.
Right. What do you think we should do more?
Oh God. Well, there's definitely one area that I'm working on just now, which I really want to mention is I'm working with Skills Development Scotland on a piece of work to get industry more engaged with education, because we know, and we keep talking about the skills gap and the talent pipeline and things, but what I've found in Scotland is there's actually so much amazing work going on to try and get kids more interested and inspired to choose a career in cybersecurity. There's loads of siloed working going on, but we kind of need to bring it together as an industry and work out how we can really make that engagement with education really effective. So I've been speaking to you and lots of employers to find out what you are doing with education, what you feel are the barriers to working and engaging with education, and then going back to Skills Development Scotland to say this is what we should do to make us more collaborative and effective in our approach to get those kids more engaged. And then hopefully, the longer term is that talent pipeline will grow and we won't be struggling to fill jobs, because I've been in the position of trying to recruit and it just taking months and months and months of interviews or actually not even getting enough applications in the first place. It's tough going trying to recruit just now.
It is. On that note, I know I'm not saying you do this, but I have seen a number of people on LinkedIn talking about this, where we talk about lack of cybersecurity professionals. But when we are trying to recruit, we are asking for CISSP, CISM, and all that, but we're offering 30, 25 grand. We're expecting a lot more from the job spec, but the incentives are tiny, and then we are complaining about shortage of skills and shortage of professionals. What do you think? What's your take on it?
That's really interesting, because definitely I was in the public sector at the time, and we had our grades that we had to stick by, and the salaries, which can be a challenge. But yeah, so I definitely find I look at job descriptions and they are looking for the security unicorn. They want you to be able to do every type of security job possible.
A magic wand.
Yeah. I'm just gonna ride in there, I'm a unicorn with my wand and fix everything. But so I think we need to get real with understanding that there's actually so many different niche roles in cybersecurity. You're not just a cybersecurity professional and expert and you can do everything. There's those different areas. There are those security engineers who are amazing at what they do, and then there's the risk people and the people who work on the projects, and there's so many different skills, soft skills and technical skills that you need for the different roles. And we need to get real with what our priorities actually are for a job and get that right person. And maybe they could learn some of the other things that you need them to do. But yeah, we're not all security unicorns. I'm sure there are some out there. That's not me.
Just before we close, I want to say something. You sent me the 3 documents from SDS, Skills Development Scotland, when we were going in and speaking to schools. I never realized this material was available in the past. And I just had a quick glance at the documents just yesterday when you sent me. The information in those is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You know,
there's so much.
There is so much, businesses can do, and also the information is readily available. We don't need to put in the work. Before you sent me this, we actually prepared our own, you know, spend hours and hours and hours.
I've heard this from a lot of the employers that I've spoken to through this piece of work. They've developed their own presentations and their own workshops to take to schools and run with kids, and SDS have put together these amazing resources for employers to just take. So you don't need to do any prep, really. You just take them and go into the school and run the workshop, which is just a lot easier and a lot less time consuming. And they also fit in with the curriculum. And if we use those resources, then learners across Scotland will be getting the same consistent messages and experiences from industry. So I think we just need to raise more awareness of what's actually available to make it easier to go out to schools and help take a workshop or put a presentation, deliver a presentation, or work with a teacher.
Absolutely. Right. Is there anything you wanted to say before we finish?
Well, thanks for letting me come on to LinkedIn Lab. I was a wee bit nervous to start. But I think on the Skills Development Scotland piece, I'm reaching out to lots of employers to find out what you're doing and what sort of support you need to go into schools a bit more. So if anybody wants to get in touch with me about that, then please definitely let me know, because I'd love to speak to you.
Absolutely. One last question, Chelsea.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me this before, but I'll ask you. If you had a magic wand in cybersecurity, like one thing that will solve all the problems, what would that be?
Oh, God, to solve all the problems. Well, one of my sort of bugbears just now is security awareness. So I think we spoke about this the other day, but I think we put in like lots and lots of technical measures and spend a lot on tools, and then we don't really engage staff and train them on how to not click on a phishing email. So I think if we've not got that sort of basic security awareness right, then a lot of the things that we're doing technically, we can bypass it, with a phishing email. So I think, if I had a magic wand, I'd make everybody really security aware and engaged with cybersecurity in the business and in their personal life, I guess, as well.
You are looking at a magic wand right now.
That's a good plug for your business.
Right, Chelsea, thank you very much for your time and sharing your experience. All right.
Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you.
See you later.
Give me a
See
sec.
you later. Bye.
Give me a second. Right.